And to startling new video this evening, watch this.
Get a car! Get out! What are you doing? Don't see him!
A passenger in a car is tased repeatedly after he says he does not have his ID, as his wife and children begged police to stop.
A 20-year-old student wrestled to the ground by police, face down on the pavement, bleeding.
Get down! Drop the weapon!
Raising serious questions about police brutality.
You're showing two officers then scuffling with her on the ground, one of them raising his baton.
The Las Vegas police officer who held Tashi Brown in an unauthorized chokehold for more than a minute before his death last month is now facing criminal charges.
The chart you see is used by the LVMP to gauge levels of control when in a situation where it could escalate to violence. To explain some levels of control in definition form, we'll first start out with reasonable force. Reasonable force is an objective standard of force viewed from the perspective of a reasonable officer without the benefit of 20/20 hindsight and based on the totality of the circumstances presented at the moment the force is used. Moving on, we have low-level force. Low-level force is a level of force or control that is neither likely nor intended to cause injury. Moving on from that, we have intermediate force. Intermediate force is a level of force that has potential to cause injury or substantial pain and is greater than low-level force. Moving on from that, we have significant force. Significant force is any force which results in treatment at a medical facility due to injuries or alleged injuries caused by an officer. Examples include, but are not limited to, skeletal fractures, serious bodily injury, or complaint of injury to a person's head or sternum area. All significant force is reportable force. Lastly, we have force transitions. Force transitions are the movement, the escalation, de-escalation, from the application of one force to another in conjunction with the objectively reasonable standard from Graham versus Connor in 1989. The officer must consider all the factors before using force and choose a reasonable option based on the totality of the circumstances present.
The principle of ethics are practiced as employees should maintain high standards of honesty and integrity. Employees should be caring to the public and treat others with fairness and dignity. Employees should uphold the Constitution and amendments. Employees will not bring embarrassment or discredit themselves off or on duty. They will always report any corruption or unethical behavior. They will not use their position for personal gain, accept any gifts from anyone or loans designed to influence their official conduct. Employees will not discriminate on the basis of race, gender, creed, or nationality. However, once an officer is seen as unethical, agencies must terminate the officer who lies or who engages in any act that raises concern about their credibility.
Officers train typically with 3 different firearms: handgun, shotgun, and rifle. Training is done while in the academy and continued after. The training also includes when a firearm should be used. In most departments, a report has to be written once the firearm leaves the holster. Although it may not be specific to firearms, training also includes management of situations, so that way a firearm does not even have to be used. This is important because improper use of firearms can have very serious consequences. This information is vital to the public because it proves that officers are trained thoroughly, which can provide reassurance. LVMPD goes through defense training every year to maintain knowledge and to update information with classes and seminars for defense tactics. They are obligated to take 2 hours of defense tactics per quarter every year. Their first priority is to keep the public safe, themselves safe, and de-escalate the situation. One of the many techniques they learn is bringing down the suspect with a tackle or, in some cases, verbal communication. Police officers take classes in controlling the suspects or other people with the intent of not using any unnecessary force. The appropriate level of force is taught to differentiate between what type of force should be used.
Las Vegas Metro police officers are trained in human relations and diversities. Resources such as Partners with the Community provides events and programs that help Las Vegas Metro engage with that same community. Programs like First Tuesday and volunteer opportunities allow the community and Vegas Metro to interact and help each other out. Las Vegas Metro also provides an online copy of the We Care booklet that contains various local resources and information for different situations. It provides the community with hotlines from traffic safety to identity theft. Metro has seminars for their police officers where they are alerted that as human beings they do have biases, and with classes they learn how to ignore them. Race, gender, ethnicity is all taught to be eliminated and only use the facts in the situation. Within the department's diversity, the team is increasing with classes graduating with various backgrounds, presenting the diversity of the population of Las Vegas.
I'm going to be talking about the RECAP program. The RECAP program stands for Rebuilding Every Community Around Peace. Not only are LVMPD police officers involved in this, but there are also community-based leaders such as faith-based leaders and business leaders and other leaders within the community. And the whole goal of the program is that they aim to suppress and neutralize violence within the communities and promote peace as a whole. This is a great program because it adds to the community resources that people can use to look for when feeling doubt surrounding the police department for police use of force. And this is a great program because it promotes peace as a whole.
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department has incorporated Coffee with a Cop to maintain positive partnerships with the community. Coffee with a Cop are events that allow police officers to spend time with people in the community and get to know them. At these events, people are able to voice their concerns about crimes, such as burglaries or traffic issues, and they express how they feel and thank the officers for the work that they do. This event is beneficial because it allows for people to meet officers that risk their lives for the community and seek assistance with their concerns and what is important to them.
The LVMPD hosts a First Tuesday where the police can have an open forum with the citizens. They talk about community issues and talks about what happens behind the scenes. It's important because it allows the police and the community to build a trusting format to talk about the issues.
After analyzing and looking into the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department as a whole, a conclusion can be made that these officers are trained and upheld to a high standard. By examining how far the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department breaks down its use of force, it is clear that they are getting sufficient levels of training, which should give them the ability to make correct discretionary decisions. That is without the benefit of 20/20 hindsight. Humans can be trained in these situations, but no matter what, there is always going to be that natural reaction of stress and adrenaline because no matter what, we are humans. Police policy is created through case law, the tools that they're given for training, and their actual physical training. So they are well equipped with every tool that they need to make ethical, discretionary, and safe decisions, but it is up to them to utilize them correctly.